ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the set of The Come Up, and I'm your host, the Dark Prophet. So today is International Women's Day. So happy International Women's Day to all my lady friends and viewers out there. So since today is International Women's Day, I decided that it would be right for me to talk about some key issues that women face. And I know very, very well, the challenges of a man talking about women issues and women rights. I know how it is. And so I want to talk about it. So what is the International Women's Day all about? It's a day where we recognize the achievements of women, one. It's a day where we help create a world where there is no stereotype discrimination against women, and the day where we appreciate just all the lovely things women bring into our lives. So that is what it's all about. So I'm going to talk about some key issues concerning these women issues. So you see, when you're a man, right, and you're talking about women issues, there are only two ways people can see you. There are only two ways you have, or two views you can have. Either you are a sexist, you hate women, you're misogynistic, and you don't want to do anything to do with a woman or something, or you just want to hold women in one corner and just keep them there. Or you are a supporter of women's rights. And if you are wondering which one I am, I'm going to leave you to do that. Decide which one I am after hearing this my opinion on women issues. You can decide. And the thing about labeling something is when you see somebody as a sexist, right? No matter what he says, all you see is a sexist. Even if he says, "Wow, women are so nice and cuddly, and now I want to touch them," you're like, "Yeah, sexualizing women there," sexist all the time. But if they see you as a supporter of women rights and say, "Oh, women are so cuddly and beautiful," they're like, "Oh man, I like him. He really likes women. Oh man, he's a very nice person." So you are going to do the labeling. That's not me. But what I want to talk about, right, is this issue. Let's start with that definition or that opinion, right? That women want a world where there is equality and there is no discrimination, no stereotyping, this world where both gender are equal. And my question is, who came up with that concept? Who came up with this idea that that's what every woman wants? That every woman wants a world where there is no stereotype, there is gender equality, there is no discrimination. Who came up with that concept? You see, from my perspective on this issue is it's a propaganda that the Western world always push down the throats of women in everywhere in the third world countries and even in developing countries. They create this propaganda, and propaganda majorly is just their ideas that people channel to you or give you, and that idea has a purpose for them. It's just like me saying, a good example is men, the male sex is the strongest of all. You understand? If that's a propaganda and there's an idea I'm passing to you, and what does that idea do to you? If you're a man, it means that you should be in charge of everything because you're the strongest. Now, so when this idea of, oh, this is what a woman wants, a gender equality world and a gender there's no discrimination, no stereotyping. That is what the idea the Western world is pushing. That's what every woman wants. But the reality is, and I think something that we African people, African women, Chinese women, all women should ask ourselves, is this really the world that you want? A world where there is no discrimination, there is gender equality. Is that really the world that you want? You see, because that is what is very, very interesting. And what happens if that's not the world you want? Does that make you a sexist? Or does that make you not to be a real woman because you don't accept this? I remember a time when we were in class during human rights studies, right? And the Western world were pushing the idea that the Arabic countries, that they have to respect human rights, and for them to respect human rights, they must do this, right? They must make sure that they don't. There's a fair trial. They must make sure that they don't. Women don't wear hijab and all that stuff, right? And then the Arabic scholars said, yes, we believe in human rights, right? We believe that human beings have rights, but it is also our right to reject these ideas that they are passing on to us. And I thought that was very, very interesting. It's more like, yes, we have rights. I said the fact that we have rights. I said that opinion is right. But we also have the right to not agree with all these stipulations of what human rights is all about. And that's very interesting. So that is what I want to really pinpoint here. Understand? In this whole idea of women want a gender equal world, what if you are a woman and you don't want that? Let's say you're a woman and you like the relationship you are in. Maybe you are a housewife, or maybe your husband does much of the work, and you do a little bit work and take care of the family. What if you are that kind of woman? Does that mean that you are against, or you're not a real woman, or you don't know what a woman should want? What does that do? And that's propaganda. And let me tell you the origin of all these things. The origin of this thing came during the wars, when there was no men to do the manual labor in the companies. There was no men because they were at war, and so they now decided to create they now created a system whereby the women can be working to be helping out the men that at the battlefront. And so when the war was over and the men came back, the women couldn't go back to the kitchen anymore because they were already working and they have to coexist together. So that's where this whole idea of women rights and then women should be able to do this work and blah, 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 blah. That's where it all came from. At least loosely, that's where it all came from. So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that this whole idea of this is what a woman should want is a Western concept. You understand what I'm saying? And we as Africans must know that, right? Then another issue I want to raise again is that, see, there is one mistake or one issue I'm having problem with in our society.